I get it. Every new year, we're all like, I am gonna lose weight this year. I'm gonna work out every 15 minutes and I'm only gonna eat ice chips. And then 3 weeks in, we find ourselves knee deep in a box of donuts and we can't remember what the inside of the gym looks like. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 4 steps that are gonna help you work with your body instead of against it. And that's gonna make any weight loss program much easier to stick with and actually reach your goals in a way that's gonna make it easy to keep the weight off. Let's get at it.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
So in the comments section right now, let us know what is the biggest hang up when it comes to you for losing weight. Because in this video, I'm going to share the 4 tips that I feel are the biggest factors that have helped me allow clients to lose more than 200 pounds in a 9.5-month period. And if I can do that with this information, don't you think you can use what you learned in this video to knock 20 pounds off and let your jeans button again? I think that you can. So the first thing that we need to understand is that in order to lose weight, the body needs to feel good about what's going on. It needs to feel good about letting go of stored fat, because the body views this stored fat like money in the bank. It's there in case there's an emergency. So if the body is stressed about the current situation that's going on, it's going to be less likely and less willing to let go of that stored fat. That's an important fact to understand. So keep in mind that the things I'm going to share in this video are not what's popular. We're not going to do what all the cool kids are doing. We want to do what's going to work for you and your unique bio-individuality. So I'm going to share information that's going to help you work with your body instead of against it. Then the body can feel good about what's going on. So the number one thing, and probably the most important thing, is to correct any digestive malfunctions. So if you're dealing with any digestive symptoms at all, they need to be corrected. Things like burping or bloating or constipation or diarrhea or acid reflux or nausea or even like acne or skin issues. All of these are signs that digestion is not working the way that it's supposed to work. And so if both sides of digestion are not working correctly, we don't really bust that food apart that we're eating, and we can't pull all the nutrients out of that food. Did you know that's why we eat food? We eat the food to get the nutrients out of that food. The body needs like minerals and amino acids and vitamins and all this stuff that helps the body function. And that's why we eat the food. The thing is, you can eat the healthiest food out there. It can be, organic and you grew it yourself and all this stuff, but if you can't digest and break that food down properly, then it has to break down by process of rotting and fermenting. And that rotting and fermenting creates toxins and gases and all this junk that becomes a burden to the body. So instead of giving the body this nourishment that you were trying to give it, you went through a lot of effort to give it this healthy food. You didn't just buy a Pop-Tart and shove that in there. You went through effort to give it something healthy. But if you can't digest it, it just becomes a toxin and a burden to the body. And the body is going to take burdens and it's going to shove a lot of them into fat cells for safekeeping. It's not going to allow all these toxins and junk to stay in the bloodstream. It's going to be like, hey, I got to get this stuff out of here to keep the system running, operating correctly. And so I'm just going to shove it in a fat cell. And now our pants expand and they don't fit. So we want to keep our food digesting correctly so that we can use it the way the body's supposed to. That means we need to be making enough stomach acid to truly acidify the food that we eat so it can start to break down. And once that acidic food leaves the stomach, we need to have enough alkaline bile dropping down from the gallbladder to neutralize those acids. And when the alkaline meets the acid, it creates this sizzle, and that's how we really bust that food apart. And why that's so important is because if the body's not getting the nutrients that it needs out of the food that you're eating, it's going to scream for other stuff. Here's the problem. Junk, this processed carbohydrate junk stuff, is a lot easier to break down and turn into fuel than like a steak or broccoli. Those things take effort. And so if the digestion is not working correctly, the body's going to be like, hey, can you give me that stuff that was easy to break down and turn right into fuel? And you're going to have these cravings for all this junk. We also need our bile flowing correctly because that's where the liver puts all the toxins that it filters out of the body. It puts it into this bile, and then the bile comes down, it flows through the intestinal tract, and the toxins go out the back door when we poop like a champion. So we need that bile moving correctly. And the problem is it's really common for someone not to be making enough stomach acid, and it's really common for someone's bile to become too thick and sticky to flow correctly, and then the body's not detoxing like it wants to. So not only can we not digest our food, but we can't remove the toxins, and a lot of those toxins are going to be stored in fat cells and we expand again. So this digestion is really a crucial aspect for weight loss. And it's probably the biggest reason that a lot of people fail on a diet. Their friend will lose weight on a diet, but then they start eating these foods that they don't have the ability to break down correctly. They go on like a carnivore diet that's pretty much all protein, but if they're not making enough stomach acid, they can't break down that protein. So they can't utilize those nutrients, and the body's basically starving, and the person's going to be a miserable human being. So you can't sustain being a miserable human being. You have to do it in a way that you're working with your body so that your body can feel okay and feel well enough to let go of the stored fat. So if you're having any digestive symptoms at all, my book Kick Your Fat in the Nuts will walk you through how to figure out which aspects of digestion is not working correctly, and if so, what steps you can take to improve those. And the book is available on Amazon, but I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can get the whole thing totally for free, and that'll help walk you through that process. Now, the second most important step is to correct any cravings. This is the biggest derailer for all attempts to lose weight. Someone tries to stick to a specific diet, and a few days in, the cravings are so insane that they have no control over their human body. They find themselves, they just black out, and they wake up and they just find that they ate a whole box of Pringles. Pringles don't really come in a box, but you understand what I'm saying. They just go through this food because they have no control of the situation. And they think that it's a willpower situation, but it's not. It's really about your physiology and you removing the only fuel source that your body had the ability to use in that moment. So here's what we want to look at. You can look at your blood pressure by just getting a blood pressure cuff at a pharmacy for like $30 or $40. And you can check this at home. So at least 2 hours after a meal, but not first thing in the morning, it should be after a meal. And if that systolic number, which is the top number, if that's below 112, that's a really strong indication that you don't have enough minerals in this system and the body's not able to function the way that it wants to function. So what happens is when blood sugar goes a little bit too low, it really starts to stress the body out. It's like, oh man, I don't have enough fuel, what am I going to do? But as long as there's enough minerals in this system, those minerals can buffer the system when blood sugar goes low. The same as vice versa. When minerals go low, you can buffer it by raising sugars. But when we really want to lose weight, we really need to keep insulin down for at least part of the day so that the body can access stored fat for fuel. When we eat carbohydrates and sugars all day long, we're spiking insulin, and when insulin is high, the body can't access stored fat and burn it for fuel. So in order to do that, we need to lower carbs for at least part of the day. And if we don't have enough minerals in the system, when the blood sugar goes low, the cravings are going to kick in and you're not going to be able to use willpower to continuously get through that. You might have a good day. Man, I nailed it that day. I grit my teeth and I was freaking out, but I made it. We don't want to work like that. We want to make weight loss easy. We want to make it so that we can kind of cheat and not put so much effort into this. We want to work with our body. So by raising our mineral levels, we give the body a buffering system so that when blood sugar goes low, it's no big deal. It's a piece of cake. I'm just going to wait until dinner to eat. That's the way you want to do it. If you're having major craving issues, we're going to put a link to our Understanding Cravings video below this video, so you can check that out and dig into that a little bit deeper. Now, step number 3 is to use the right carbs for your body chemistry. Now, a lot of people will go like on a ketogenic diet or something where they're removing all carbs. But if their body is not set up to process proteins and fats, then all of a sudden they just remove their only fuel source that their body could run on. So we really need to see how our body chemistry is operating to understand what diet's going to be appropriate for us. Again, we don't want to work a diet just because it works for our neighbor. We want to work with something that's going to work for our unique body. So dropping carbs is a great way to lose weight a lot faster, but if your mineral levels are low when you drop carbs too fast, or if you drop too many carbs and you can't process proteins or fats correctly, then it's going to have a hard time. So if you fix digestion so that you can break down proteins correctly, and bile is flowing so you can emulsify or break down dietary fats and actually use them, that can make it easier to lower your carb levels. But if your minerals are too low, it's still going to be too hard. So while you're working to raise your minerals, and we'll put a link in the description below this video for our How to Boost Minerals video, but as you're working to lift your mineral levels, you can just use what we call medium carb foods. Foods that contain enough carbohydrates to help you function as a human being, but not so many that you're going to create this huge spike and crash. So maybe you remove the breads and the pastas and the rice, but you include carbohydrates like yams and butternut squash and sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Things that'll give you some carbohydrates and easy to break down fuel so you can use right away, but you're not creating such a huge spike in insulin that it keeps insulin high for hours and hours throughout the day, and your body doesn't have the ability to access stored fat for fuel. So if you have the ability to really drop carbs, it can really speed things up. But if your body doesn't have the ability to do that, you want to use the right carbs for your body chemistry, and that will allow you to sustain the weight loss. Using these carbs might not be as fast as using almost no carbs, but it allows you to function a little easier when your body is not set up to operate well on like a ketogenic or carnivore or super low carb diet. So you've already learned some major physiological things that have probably blocked diet success for you in the past. And if you correct any number of those issues, it could give you a lot of success. And my book, if you need more help, walks through other factors that could be an issue as well. And if you hate to read, we also have a totally free digestion course that'll walk you through those same steps. And we'll put the link to that totally free course below. But step number 4 is really a big one. And it can be really important for most people. And it's this. When you go off track, just do the next right thing. Don't blow yourself up and say, oh man, I had a cookie, so I might as well eat everything wrong and I'll start over again next week. Or some people say, I'll start over again next month or next year. The body doesn't work like that. Everything that you eat counts. You don't have to have a clean week in order to see weight loss. So if you have something that you shouldn't have had, you don't have to beat yourself up about it. Just realize, oh man, that really slowed down my progress, but that doesn't mean that I can't make any progress. So what I'm going to do is right away, I'm going to do the next right thing. And maybe the next right thing is the next morning you go for a walk while you're fasted. You know, walking before you eat food in the morning is a great way to burn fat. It can even be more effective than running first thing in the morning. Because when you're walking, your body's set up to burn fat, and that easy exercise is something that your body feels really good about burning fat doing. So that can be a great next right thing. Maybe the next right thing is you read part of my book that helps you learn more things about losing weight. Maybe the next right thing is you just eat a dinner that's great for you and is on plan for what you're trying to do. Don't view it like, I screwed up, so how can I get everything right? You don't have to get everything right. You just have to get the next thing right. If you can do the next thing right, you'll be like, oh man, I totally did it. I really screwed up over there, but man, I got right back on track and I did something right. And that momentum will make it much easier to do the next thing right. And that will carry you through. The biggest mistake I see people make is that they do something wrong and they just throw it all in the trash. It doesn't need to go in the trash. You're doing great. Continue to do great and don't let one mistake blow up the whole thing. The body doesn't work like that, so you don't have to work like that either. Now in my book, I really talk about correcting these physiological issues to make losing weight a lot easier. But once you've done those things, there are ways to speed up weight loss, like a ketogenic diet can be very effective if your body chemistry is set up to work well with a ketogenic diet. And intermittent fasting can also really speed up weight loss. But again, intermittent fasting is not right for everybody. So before you dig into testing those things out, I want you to figure out, are these things right for my body chemistry? So in the description below the video, I'm going to put a link for our video on who should not use a ketogenic diet. And you can jump over right now and check out our video for who should not use intermittent fasting. If you can see if those things are right for you, you can implement them. If they're not, you can correct those body malfunctions and get to the point where they are right for you. Let me know how it goes. I can't wait to hear about your results.